gili that it causes is from above itself, or it 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 originates with avad, the yichud itself.
The yichud avo is within itself. It's from itself. Chochma and bina. It's called two friends that do not separate.
It was an analogy, the example that we learned yesterday morning about the the Sichus Kulin Shaldi Boteovis is better than Yofa from Torah's B'nechem. So, and we explained that there is a general theme that goes through all of them, explaining that all these examples are to understand how Ha'ora from the higher Madrega is superior to the Mavus from the lower Madrega. So how does it go through this particular example? Like Torah's name, we say that this is a Mavus Dover because Torah was given to actual Seichel, and Ha'ora is seems cool from Avdi Boteos. What on Chochma and Bina, like how it is superior to Muvus Midas. I mean, we understand whatever. I
always
follow. Yeah, what
always. This is Chochma and Bina. This is always Av. And the Choshen Shel Av the Boteos, the Avodim. The one thing about Avodim is that an Eved is a non-entity unto himself. And therefore he is fully representative of the Ab, of the Boteos. You find in the story of Eliezer and Avram, that's what this is an allusion to. There is not a single reference to himself other than being Avram's Eved. Even at the end, when he related this whole story, he said, I have this job to bring a wife for Yitzchak. Are you going to do this favor to me? Doesn't say anything like that. Will you do a chesed with my master?
But my question is that where do we see that this how should I say it? Rep? I don't know. The always Avraham and Yitzchak, Yaakov, and all that. Like the Avraham in this case. Where do we see that he is Seichel, Chochma and Bina, and all that stuff?
We see it from the fact that, besides that it says in Chassidus and said the Gemara, the Mishnah, we see it in the fact that Avraham initiated his entire perception. He initiated completely on his own.
So it comes out that the Torah's B'nechem is kind of like end product of all that, right?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay. Okay, we will start in 2 lines from the top, even though we read it, we didn't give it its proper attention. So at this point, we concluded with several illustrations, several different approaches to point to the phenomenon of of a ha'ora of a higher level. Of a superior level. So even this is only ha'ora, but this ha'ora carries with it a power beyond that which is contained in the mahus. The whole union from Avon Seichel and Seichel. Like we point out in our moshel, like we should understand, our moshel, that you have the clock and you have the wall. These are things which are real, tangible presences. The fact that the clock is on the wall, this is an intangible union. This is just a human perception. The clock can break, the wall can break. But the clock on the wall, wherever the human being is going to be there all the time. Because this reaches up to a more fundamental reality, a human reality. So therefore, the conclusion is, we understand how come neshamas are requesting the union from the shikin, even though neshamas are a mahus holocaust. The shikin is in the realm of malachim, and yet this is what neshamas are requesting, because the shikin, this gives them a connection to this higher element. Nishikin does not in itself produce anything, does not transmit a tangible reality. And yet, the connection that it establishes is more dear to the neshama than the tangible reality that it has.
Can I ask one more thing going back? I don't want to distract. I just if you want to go further. The other day we were giving an example about like a human being, like he's being just like we just mentioned this clock on the wall, right? That what's really there, it's what's behind it, because this clock gonna break, another clock gonna be on its place. So there is not really anything to the clock on the wall that in a clock on the wall essentially that represents that is connected to that like everlasting spirit that's they're gonna make as many clocks as you need, and as many walls as you need, just because that's a true matter, matter of human spirit. So the other day we were saying the example of a human being in the world. And we're saying the human being in the world, what is he? He's 120 years and he's gone. Yet we say that he is here, like forever. Is it a similar thing? Because the human being, his own actual presence, there is nothing in a human presence in this world that he could pinpoint to himself, say, "Oh, I'm here forever." It's something else that says that the human being in the world is a real thing.
Yeah, he represents the godly intent in the creation itself.
for him to associate with that godly intent, it's nothing internal to him, right? It's
his association with it, his avodah.
Right.
So therefore there is a bakosha that should be gili hanishik. Okay, 2 lines from the top. And then particularly b'neshomes. When they talk about neshomes, shehein mibchina zivu gufni. The neshomes which are representative of the aspect of zivu gufni, as we said before. And zivu gufni results in an actual mahus of pnimi v'atzmi of a lukus, a real presence. Kisheyesh gilui b'chinas nishikin gamkin. So then, when there is a gilui of the aspect of nishikin also on top of this union of ziva gufni, harei zeh his chabrus the Beis hamadregis. That represents, that brings about his chabrus, the joining of both madregis, of nishikin with gufni. Of nishikin and gufni. Shali deizeh nase yisri ma'ilo gam beha gufni. That affects a yisri ma'ilo. It elevates the gufni itself also. One more line and then we'll discuss it. Degilui ha'ora ha'elyoina. Which means that by revealing a ha'ora ha'elyoina, this higher, although it's only a ha'ora, as a result, hasogas hamahus, the hasogas hamahus that is in the shomes, who gam came beifenala yesed, is also in a superior manner. This is an additional point here. Essentially, we can understand it from a very fundamental principle. The principle that Torah affected in the world is the combining of godliness and worldliness. To put it very, very simply, to give tzedakah is clearly a very a godly reality. As it says that we are to emulate Hashem's midas. Mahu rachum, afato hayera. He is a rachum and you should be a rachum. And he is machayed the world b'chesed chinam, as he gives chesed. You too should reciprocate. You should reflect the same chesed, that you should do chesed chinam. And this is all in the context of this world. And this reveals a koyach eliki, because to do things chesed chinam in this world is an anomaly. In the world, everything has to be reciprocal, cause and effect. To say now that you can do chesed chinam, this is because you have this godly reality. And therefore, that's why you're able to do this chesed chinam. And you're reflective of the fact that you're receiving it from Eibush and also chesed chinam. So this is all the thing on the level of world, we have the union from godliness. Then there is a very special aspect in this. And we have to try to understand the tremendous special quality in this. That this giving tzedakah is a command from the Beis. What is the command of the Beis? How is that? What is this command? Why a command? It's something which makes sense within the context of the world itself. Mahu rachum afato hirach. His rachamim should evoke and give you that capacity to be a rachman. Like it says, Teva hatoiv laheitiv. That Rebbe in the time. If someone has good, a healthy and a forthright person, the more good he has, the more open he is to doing good. It should be. That would be the natural human quality. So what is this in the command, the mitzvah element? The mitzvah element is something which is outside of the world. The mitzvah element that elevates even that which is inherent in, so to speak, in the goodness, the godly presence in the world, it elevates that itself. Because it says not just that it is a good that is obvious in the world, it has a fundamental truth to it. One of the things I'm trying to explain this. One of the things that comes along with the Indian from mitzvah, that you command that there's a mitzvah in the Torah, is that from the perspective of a mitzvah, there is no difference what the content of the mitzvah is. From the perspective of the fact that it's a mitzvah, within the world the context is different. Whether you do chesed or gvura. From the perspective of the mitzvah, there's no difference.
Are we saying that
we had two weeks ago, the end of the Parsha was a story of the Mekosher Sheitz. Mekosher Sheitz, you know what that is, right?
Shalafcha.
It's not clear. Mekosher Sheitz. So they asked Hashem what to do. Hashem said, you have to stone him. And then the Torah relates that the whole Eidah went and they took him out mechus lamachem, and they stoned him. And they saw also they did all the very standard, because and it's called a meekling. Then after the skill he has to hang. Everything they did, everything precisely the way the Rebbe said, and that. This is an unnatural thing for a human being to do. Particularly, say, Kol Ho'eda. Now you see, Yosef Kol Ho'eda, the whole Eidah took him out. What happened over here? Normally, if you need a henchman, you find some kind of coarse person who has no sensitivities, and he can do it. Here we have Kol Ho'eda. They took him out, and they stoned him. And it's relating in the Torah. In this Torah's chesed, it relates all of these details. Moreover, think about this. This is the end of the parsha. This is the very end of the parsha. We have a cloud at the end. We have to finish with something nice, something pleasant, something good. What does the parsha end with this story? This brings to light. And this is a light which is beyond light. That's called the etzem behidi. This brings to light not to light. It's not a light. It's an atzm, the godly actual presence in the Jewish community. Something beyond, completely above the world. In simple terms, that the Malchus of Hashem in the world, of Bnei Yisrael, is not a projected thing. I don't see the king, but I believe he's there. It's a reality. And his presence is what enables me to do this. Because on my own, I cannot do that. But his presence, I don't see it. This is what Torah brings about. That we have the command, which means we have the actual presence of the command. Even though it's only a ha'orah, it's a ha'orah that reflected on the actual presence of the command. And we can celebrate and say, we did exactly what the commander said to do. That supersedes completely all the kindnesses and the goodness that is contained in the world.
That's what the ha'ara is. The ha'ara is giving. There's some advantage to the fact that.
So as I said, it elevates the gufni.
The gufni can now sense the presence of the
right, the presence
of the higher
of the essence itself.
Not just the ha'ara.
No, it is a ha'ara. Through the ha'ara, he becomes aware of the actual presence. Doesn't sense the presence. He only has the ha'ara. Okay, let's conclude it to this thing and what you were saying. the goodness and kindness that is contained in the world is representative of the fact of where it's coming from. What is the oil, what is the koyah that creates the world? That there is goodness and kindness. But this is the way it is represented in the gufni element. In other words, the actual goodness and kindness itself. But the ha'ora represents not the goodness and kindness that is translated and the world and the zivu gufni that creates the world. It represents the source of that zivu.
This phenomenon, when you see what you touch, this is what happens.
Right. This is ultimately, brings together everything that we've discussed. In order to create a gufni, there has to be a koyach atzmi to create that gufni. Where is the koyach atzmi get its atzmius from? The koyach is not an atzmi in itself. Where does the koyach get its atzmis from? From that with the invisible atzmi.
That's what the horror brings. The horror brings that awareness.
One more thing. It's a little, okay, I don't want to overstay. We have koyach haguf. The guf has to be healthy, and everything has to function properly. The person has to eat, has to sleep, and has to have spirit, has to be rested, whatever else. This is all that enables a person to function. What is the actual source of all that spirit? It is an intangible element. It's called the will. The will. And we spoke many times, the will has absolutely no presence. We're not talking about something that you can explain what it is that I want and why do I want. The strength, it's not in the inspiration, the strength behind everything is the will. Where does one get the will from? The will is the presence of the Creator Himself in the Nefesh Olam. There is nothing in the Nefesh itself that I should want from my own perspective, because of myself. This is something which the Eibishter gives. When translated, this will is then recognized from an existential perspective, then it brings out a completely different power in the existential thinking. Like we point out, going back to the simplest thing, a human being stands on 2 feet, physically. How does he stand on 2 feet physically? Physically, he has to physically stand. How does the animal stand? And you can explain physically how he stands. The human being stands because he wants to stand. Not because he wants to stand, because he has the will to recognize, and because he recognizes this will. There's no explanation. This will is what the Rebbe gives him, that you're a human being. I'm a human being not because I want to be, because the Rebbe says I'm a human being. This is the will. And this is why I want to stand.
That exists even without the ha'ara. So, in other words, even atheists stand up. In other words, what's the... we were saying...
The atheist denies his own truth. Atheist is not a different thing. And if he should pursue his atheism, he doesn't have the strength to stand. This is the pshat, that the gufni is elevated as a result, and the Rebbe discusses this in different details. The gufni itself makes sense. How come I'm here? Because there is this etzem. This is it for this morning.
Is it too late?
la